When ordering numbers from least to greatest, it's important to have all the numbers in the same form. In this case, these are all in decimal form. And it's important to be able to look and be able to compare these numbers. So I like to have the same amount of decimals. So in this case, I have one number after the decimal, one number after the decimal, three numbers after the decimal, two numbers after the decimal, and another two numbers after the decimal. I think that can sometimes be a little confusing. So I can rewrite these decimals with the same number after the decimal by adding zeros. So I'm going to look for the biggest amount of numbers after the decimal. So in this case, I see I have 3 digits after the decimal. So I want all of my numbers to have 3 digits after the decimal. So in this case, I only have 1. So I can rewrite this as 0.400 because my math rules say that I can add any amount of zeros after the decimal and I'm not changing the value of the number. Okay, I notice my little repeating sign here. So this tells me that this really means 0.4 repeating. So I'm going to write this down as 0.444. Okay, my third number already had 3 digits after the decimal. So I'm just going to rewrite 0.004. The next number had 2 digits after the decimal. Again, I want it to be 3, so I'm going to add a 0. Same with the last one. I had 2 digits, and I would like 3. So now I can just read these numbers and decide which is the smallest and which is the biggest. So I would read the first one as 400. The second number is 444. The third number is 4. Then 440 and 40. So I know out of all those numbers that the smallest number is 4. Okay, so there's my 4. Okay, I'm going to put a little 1 above that. Okay, looking at the rest of the numbers, the second number would be 40. Okay, second smallest number would be 40. Okay, now I'm comparing 440, 444, and 400. Okay, the next smallest number, 400, is less than 440 and 444, so that would be the third. And then 440 is smaller than 444, so this would be the fourth, and this would be the fifth. So if I wanted, I could go ahead, and click and drag and put those numbers in order. When ordering numbers from least to greatest, it's important that all my numbers are in the same form. When I say form, I mean decimals or fractions or percents. And in this case, they are in the same form. They're all in decimals. And they also have the same number of digits after the decimal. So in this case, when I start out, my first number only has 1 digit after the decimal. This one has 1. My third one has 3. The last 2 numbers only have 2. So I need to rewrite these numbers so they all have the same number of digits after the decimal. So in this case, I'm going to look, and I'm going to look for the largest amount. So I can see that this number, 4 thousandths, has 3 decimal places or 3 digits after the decimal. So I'm going to rewrite all of these numbers so they have 3 digits after the decimal. And I can do that because my math rules tell me that when I have decimals, I can add any amount of zeros to the end of my numbers and it won't change the value. So I'm going to rewrite this first number. Again, I'm recopying it, and then I'm going to add the number of zeros in order to give me my desired amount, which is 3. Okay, I see that this has a symbol for repeating decimal. So I know that really means 0.44444 forever and ever. So I'm going to write that with 3 4s after my decimal place. I can just recopy my second one, or my third number, because I already have 3 digits. This had 2, so I'm going to add 1 0. Same with my last one. So now when I'm comparing these numbers, I can kind of ignore the decimal and just read the number that I see. So my first digit I would read as 400. This is 444, 440, and 40. So I need to check my directions, and my directions say I need to order from least to greatest. So the smallest number out of all of these numbers up top would be 4. So 4 is my smallest number. Okay, so I could label that a number 1. Okay, so I would click and drag that box. I'm just going to recopy it into the first box. So 4 is my smallest number. Okay, so now I'm comparing 400, 444, 440, and 40. So the next smallest number would be 40. Okay, and again, notice I'm going to rewrite my original. So here's my next smallest number. So in this box, I would put 0.04. So that was number 2. Okay, so I'm done with that one. So now I'm comparing 400, 444, and 440. So the smallest number out of those 3 would be 400. So there's my number 3. So again, 400 came from 0.4. And now comparing 444 and 440, 440 is smaller. So the next decimal would go here. And last but not least, 444 was our biggest number, and that came from our repeating decimal.